where Grant messed up was he could have used that just about anybody because he
Mhm.
does that with anybody. But he chose to insert black people, and then where he messed up was instead of just saying, yeah, I target black people and I speak in a language
That they
because I
understand.
relate to them where I'm from and I speak to them in a language that they can understand because I understand it because we're from the same place. He
Mhm.
could have said that and it'd be cool.
Mhm.
Where he messed up was, yeah, I target black people under 40 and I talk to them and he used some other type of word, these type of words, not anything complex. And I talk to them in street terms. That's
Mhm.
where he messed up saying putting the street in there. Cause like, what?
Right.
So you choosing to talk to all black people like in
Mhm.
street terminology? Most black people don't understand street terminology. Hey, yo, everybody has a six-figure goal, but they're only thinking of 100 racks, not realizing that six figures goes all the way up to 900K. And I was able to do that with just one digital product in my business. But it's not about how much came in. It's about how much that I missed out on because of information that I did not have. And I don't want you to go through the same thing in your entrepreneurial journey. So I'm hosting a completely free masterclass this upcoming Thursday, teaching how you can take your own IP, your own intellectual property, knowledge and information that you already have, create digital products and digital assets with it. Not only that, but I'm going to teach you the entire framework and system. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money so you don't have to go through the same pitfalls that I had to go through along the way. So go ahead, click the link, and join the masterclass. It is completely free, but spots are limited, so take advantage now. I'll see you on Thursday. Welcome to another episode of It's Crowded at the Top. I'm your host, AstenCeo. Got the voice of God with me on the other end.
Hey, peace and blessings, beautiful people. Church.
Man, let's get into it, man. The black delegation is upset with Grant Cardone.
Yeah. On the surface level they are at least. We'll see
And you
how.
know, I'm somebody. I've name dropped Grant quite a few times on this podcast.
Yeah,
It's
for
somebody
sure.
that I like study and I look to, but he messed up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He
At the
messed up.
worst time. Like because he didn't gather the troops, he gathered all his black friends.
Grant went and got all of his black friends to promote him the last month. And then right after he tapped into their resources, tapped into their audience,
Mhm.
monetized the attention that he got off of their audience.
Mhm.
He came out and said, yeah, I basically target black people that's under the age of 40 and I talk to them real dumb wise and in street lingo so they can understand what I'm saying. You feel me?
It's
That's
like
what
it's
Grant.
like talking to children, if to put it in better terms.
Here's what I want to say about Grant because people have DM'd me just asking my opinion on it, whether they know or don't know that he's somebody that I study as far as the marketing and sales aspect of things, right?
Mhm.
Because people they don't realize about Grant, a lot of people they think that Grant Cardone is a real estate guy.
Right.
True and false. Grant Cardone is a marketer first,
Mm.
salesman second, real estate guy third.
Mm.
So people just hear him go out here talking about real estate, real estate, real estate all the time. They think he's a real estate guy. Like, no, Grant is one of the, if not the biggest internet marketer.
Mhm.
Grant got $100 million education company.
Mm.
Real estate come after that.
Yeah.
That's what bring in the dough. So as somebody that's a marketer myself, who do you study? You study the people that's doing it.
Right.
So he's somebody that I study. Now, totally Grant, 100% wrong. Don't agree with what he said at all about speaking to us. Because one thing that I don't like when people that aren't from certain things classify the thing that they have no experience at.
Right.
So as far as I know, some of his past, as far as drug abuse, I know he's from Louisiana and all that type of stuff, but he's not street.
Right.
So to use that term street, and this ain't just with white people, this people, period. Like I don't like when black people that ain't never been nothing from the hood be like calling stuff hood.
Hood and ghetto and yeah.
Ah, that's so ghetto. That's so hood. I'm like, nah, that's a place.
Right.
That action that somebody's doing is not. I'm like, I don't like when people use that analogy to stuff
Mhm.
because it's like it's not hood and ghetto and street. That's not a monolithic thing.
Right.
So you be like, it's so hood. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's
All my people from
disrespectful.
the hood, they sitting there and reading books on quantum physics and playing chess and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Is that hood too?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? My little cousin, people wouldn't know where he come from. He sit there and want to have history and theology conversations with you all day.
Mhm.
Is that hood?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like when people be like, oh, it's so hood. Especially black people. I'll be like,
Self-hatred.
you like I'll be like, where are you from?
Mhm.
No, I don't even think it's self-hatred. I just be questioning where people from.
Mm. Yeah, that's true in itself, but I also feel like there's an element of association because, for example, when they're saying that's so hood and so that's so ghetto, they're not thinking of like white neighborhoods, white ghettos. They thinking of us when they use
Yeah,
those terms.
yeah. But I just know me, my first mind, I just be like, where are you from?
Hmm.
Like somebody that you may pick, I don't want to name drop, but you may pick up on who I'm thinking of right now. I remember when Meek Mill was going through his situation when it was like the free meat campaign when he got locked up for popping a willie.
Right,
You remember
right.
that?
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy.
This one particular chick that we both know, she was talking about she was just like, yeah, if y'all can't follow the rules when y'all on probation, blah blah blah. Like just why you gotta be doing that? It's his fault he went back to jail, blah blah blah. Which it is his fault for being put in that position to be on pro. I get that aspect of it, but she was like fighting against all of the like dude was on a dirt bike, popped a wheelie and goes to prison type of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I started to look at her differently from like that because I'm like, yeah, where are you? Who are like who
Mhm.
raised you?
Mhm.
That's what I'd be like. I'd be like, who raised you? I'm
Mhm.
not judging you right now. I'm like,
The
who did you
influences.
learn from?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, your life
Who's
teachers.
your mama? Who's your
Mhm.
daddy? Who's your uncles? Your
Mhm.
cousins, your aunts and stuff. For you to not even see the fact of what probation is. It's like you can't do somebody that's a criminal, they get locked up, they get out on probation. One thing it says is you're not allowed to be around any criminals. You come from a certain element, you go home, your granny might get a charge.
Right. Your mama,
You
daddy,
gonna stay home
brother.
at your granny house.
Mhm.
Your brother got something. Your neighbor.
Mhm.
So I'm like, it's just such a tight rope that you gotta. And I know that I haven't personally been through it, but I know it.
Mhm.
See it really, really up close. I'm like, hey, you're not supposed to interact with nobody. You can't do this. You have any police interaction, you going to jail. I'm like any?
Right. Yeah, it's big setup, man. Big setup.
And he was on probation for like what over a decade.
Yeah, insane.
But anyways, just to get off of that, the Grant thing though, when he says the street, I understand what Grant was attempting to say. He said it the wrong way.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, even with you saying he was 100% wrong, do you think it was more of just like just saying the wrong thing? You know what I'm saying? Could he use better word, better phrasing, or do you think his just his
He definitely
idea?
said nah, he said he's I understand his message. He said it the wrong way. Basically, anybody that knows anything about sales and marketing no matter who your target demographic is, you need to dumb it down.
Mhm.
The average American only speaks on an elementary school grade.
Right.
Period.
Like
That's
3rd
that's why
grade.
you got that's why you got shows out here like Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Mhm. And they be
Like it
losing.
because yeah. But it shows me though, because the fifth grader, they're learning the useless information in real time, and you don't forget all the useless information.
Mhm.
Because school teaches us stuff that we don't need. You learn everything from school probably by max sixth grade, pushing seventh, like
Yeah.
for real, for real.
Yeah.
Because all you need out here in the real world, unless you're gonna be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, stuff like that, reading, writing, basic arithmetic, you learn all that by fifth, sixth grade.
Mhm.
The only reason I even said six was I'm sure it's different now, but I learned how to type in sixth grade. That's why I say
Mm.
sixth grade. That's the only reason why.
See,
It
that
was like
was
a
5th grade for me.
no, it was a my school was a requirement. I went to a magnet school. It was a requirement. All sixth graders, we took a typing class and Latin class.
Mm. Latin, huh? Hmm.
And that's why when I got to high school, my foreign language elective, I picked Latin because in my head, I'm like, oh, I took it in sixth grade.
Mhm.
It was way harder in high school.
Uh,
I should have just picked Spanish,
mhm.
which I'm learning Spanish. I told you earlier, my keyboard on my phone been messing me up because I got 3 keyboards on my phone now. Most people they got their just regular keyboard and emoji keyboard.
Mhm.
I got the Spanish Espanol keyboard because on my app that I'm learning the stuff on, it'll say I'm getting stuff wrong because of autocorrect,
Mhm.
and I hit it because I be wanting to know. I've heard a couple chicks say "que rico." What does that mean?
What do
What
they
does
say?
que rico?
Que rico? I don't know.
You ain't never sound good when they say it too.
Bro, we went to a dope Latin spot in Vegas this past week. Had a blast. Had a blast.
Yeah, I doubt the environment that you was in, you would hear uh, Latino women saying "que rico." I've heard it a couple times.
I don't know.
I interpret it means something good. But anyways though, Grant, let's get back on track with Grant Cardone. It's like anybody that's in sales and marketing, you know that you need to dumb down your message.
Mhm.
It needs to be you need to be using wording to whereas, like I said, an elementary kid can understand it because most Americans only read on an elementary school level. And it's not a knock on most people. It's just school does not teach us like really how to read anymore once you're past a certain age. Like once you learn how to read, you learned how to read. They don't continue to
Right.
teach you how to read.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like you learn how to talk. You, once your daughters know how to talk, you're not gonna be sitting there with them when they 7 and being like, okay, this is how you say this. Not like you've
Yeah.
already stopped doing that now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Your youngest is 2. You've already stopped doing that with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like once you know how to talk, you know how to talk. You're gonna just
Mhm.
pick up on stuff. You're gonna play copycat with your sister. You're gonna do this. You're gonna learn. So it's the same with reading. It's like you know your ABCs, you know how to put letters together. You
Mhm.
know how they're not so it's not a I don't want anybody to get offended. And it's crazy. I even gotta
Put
put
that
out
out.
this little
Yeah.
thing right now because people be like, it'll be the one person out there that reads slow and be like, "Oh, I'm smarter than a fifth grader." That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not attacking you, fam.
Yeah. What they say?
But
What is the saying? A hurt dog barks or something like that. What is it?
a hit dog holler.
Oh yeah, there we go. I was close.
A hurt dog bark.
What they say about top dog do what?
Nah, but so that's why I'm saying I understand the messaging of that just because you need to in any type of marketing or sales, you need to dumb it down.
Mm,
Where Grant messed up was he could have used that just about anybody because he
mhm.
does that with anybody. but he chose to insert black people. And then where he messed up was instead of just saying, yeah, I target black people and I speak in a language
That they
because I
understand.
relate to them where I'm from and I speak to them in a language that they can understand because I understand it because we're from the same place. He
Mhm.
could have said that and it'd be cool.
Mhm.
Where he messed up was, yeah, I target black people under 40 and I talk to them in he used some other type of word, these type of words, not anything complex. And I talk to them in street terms. That's
Mhm.
where he messed up, saying the putting the street in there. Cause like what?
Right.
So you choosing to talk to all black people like
Mhm.
in street terminology? Most black people don't understand street terminology.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying that like monolithic thing of just saying, oh, this is hood, this is ghetto, this is street.
Mhm. It's like
I say so.
CPT, like saying, CPT, like all black people ain't late, bro. Like
Yeah,
stop.
it's not like, but just for him to say he talks to black people in street terms so they
Yeah.
understand it, I'm like, most black people don't understand street terms.
Right.
I say stuff to my mama. I just be talking and stuff. I be on the phone with my mama. I be in town or she be in town, and I say certain stuff. She has no clue, and I'm thinking she just knows what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh no, it means this. She's black.
Right. Yeah.
Street term, and I'm saying like, what is a street terminology? Everybody don't know what. If I sit here and I talk about a QP, don't nobody know what every black person don't know what a QP is.
They're gonna be thinking about McDonald's.
You know what I'm saying? If I talk about an elbow, if I sit there and I say an elbow, most black people don't know that means a pound. 100 band, 100 band, 100 band, 100 band, 100 band, 100 bands. Everybody has a six-figure goal, but they're thinking too small. They're only thinking of 100 bands, not realizing that six figures goes all the way up to 900K. And I was able to do that in my business with just one digital product. But it's not about how much came in. It's about how much that I lost out on because of information that I did not have. And I do not want you to go through the same thing on your entrepreneurial journey. So I'm hosting a completely free masterclass this upcoming Thursday, teaching how you can create and scale digital products and digital assets. But not only that, I'm giving you the entire framework and system to take your own intellectual property, your own IP, getting in the right system to scale. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. So go ahead, click the link, and join me this upcoming Thursday for the masterclass. See you soon. Like when you saying street terms to talk to black people, that's
Yeah.
why I don't like when people that aren't from something use something to describe a people.
Right.
Street street terminology. Do you understand what the streets are?
Yeah. And then it compounds when he looks the way he does.
Yeah.
Like it compounds on top of that. It's just
But what I'm disappointed in for us is that we get upset at that.
mm,
I'm like, we got real because Grant said some wild stuff about black people before. This ain't the first
yeah, I
time.
know stuff starting to resurface though. Did you see the one ad he had? He was like, "Y'all going out there, you rapping, playing ball, spending all your money on chains and dumps." Like, did you see that one?
I haven't seen it resurface, but I've seen stuff similar to that.
Hmm.
I study Grant.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I haven't seen any resurface stuff. I just know he said some wild stuff
Hmm.
in the past. Grant's been on uh who was he sitting down doing an interview with, and you could tell they felt uncomfortable. uh uh what's my man's name? I always get two of his names mixed up. um Patrick Bet David. Sometimes I
Man,
get the
that's a
David
name
Bet.
for you.
You don't know who he is?
Mm-mm.
Goated.
Mm.
Somebody else said I studied, but Patrick Bet David. Sometimes I get the David Bet
Mhm.
mixed up. Sometimes I say Patrick David Bet instead of Patrick Bet David. But Grant was on his show once. I believe it was him, and Grant was like, "Oh no, man, they love me, man. I got the pass to say the N
Oh,
word."
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
said stuff like
They've
that
been they've
before
been playing
too.
that a lot over the last couple of days too.
Oh, they. But
Mhm.
I'm just
I can
saying,
say the N word now. But it was
I've
like,
heard, I've heard Grant say, yeah, Patrick Bet David. He
mm,
was like,
mhm,
you could tell he was like, oh, like
mhm.
that little nervous chuckle or whatever. But when I say I'm not gonna say upset. That was a wrong choice of word. Disappointed. I'm disappointed that we get upset
Mhm.
at that type of stuff. I'm like, yo, Grant Cardone is a white dude from the backwoods of Louisiana. What do you expect?
Right. Born in, I want to say 58, I think.
He's a white dude from backwoods, nowhere, Louisiana, born in the 50s.
Mhm.
What do you expect? That's like me. I'm from Kentucky. That's like if I hear a white person born in the 50s from Kentucky say some wild stuff about a black person, I'm not gonna get upset at that.
Right.
I've heard it many times. It's like I don't. So what?
Yeah.
So that's why I get disappointed, and then why I get further disappointed in it is we'll take something that we don't like that somebody said, and then we'll take all the good that we can get from it. We'll throw it away because we don't like something that this person said.
Got me thinking about snowfall.
Whereas we don't have to like somebody, and we don't have to like somebody's message to learn from them.
Right.
Like I'm like that. I tell people about things in branding branding that I've learned from Donald Trump. I
Right.
don't have to agree with any of his messaging to see things that he does and see the things that I can pull away and apply to myself.
Right.
I don't gotta like nothing about the dude, but I can see certain things that will be a positive over here.
Mhm.
I take it and go with it. I don't have to like certain things that Grant Cardone says, but if he is one of the biggest internet marketers and biggest salesmen, you don't think I can learn more about internet marketing and sales from the guy that I don't like what he says about this stuff,
Right.
but he knows what he's doing because he's built $100 million educational company.
Mhm.
That's why I'm like, we gotta learn uh how we can
Disassociate.
pick up game along the way and throw away all the excess stuff that we don't need. I feel like that's one of the reasons why us as a whole stay behind because we gotta love the messenger to listen to him.
Right. It's
Where
like
other
all or
people don't.
nothing.
Yeah, whereas other people they don't care.
Mhm.
They gonna take what they can get from it.
Yeah, just mean I'm not gonna spend my Thanksgiving with you. Like,
Yeah.
move on.
But you know how to turn $1 into two in business. Cool. Let me listen to you.
Mhm.
You said this about this group of people. What's that got to do with me learning how to get a certain automated system in place in my business?
Right.
Because here's the thing that we got to understand: it's whether we want to accept it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you like what I'm about to say right now or you don't. The facts are we haven't done it yet. So the only example that we have of the people that have probably gonna say some crazy stuff about us in private.
Mhm. That's simple.
We not gonna get some information because we don't like what they say. Because we're just now getting to first generation levels of success about certain things. So there's not a lot of people that we can look at that look like us that have taken it to crazy heights.
Mhm.
outside of entertainers.
Yep.
And the entertainers don't have a blueprint that you can follow because they did it through through popularity of being an entertainer.
Hmm. Yeah, you can't take that and just apply it and rinse and repeat.
Hove can't tell me no game.
Yeah.
I know people joke about the would you do this or the dinner with JG. Just being realistically speaking, I'm not in a position to whereas if Hove wanted to give me some game, I could do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is a lot of people. There's only maybe 2 to 3 people I've ever even met in my life that if they had that opportunity and he really was to give them some game, they could do it because they're in a position.
Yeah, I saw a clip with EYL. They were talking about it, and they were saying how, like, hands down, they would do the dinner with Jay-Z based
They're
off
in
of.
the position that they're in. I don't know them too, but I could see that for them.
Hmm.
It's not. I'm not in. I couldn't do nothing with that right now.
Yeah, but he was even talking about like everybody should do it based on the idea that more relationships would stem from that.
I understand that, but I'm just talking about implement. I'm not talking about a
I
relationship.
know,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
I
if
know
he
what you're
was just to
saying.
give me some game
Hmm.
and we ain't gonna have no relationship forward, I wouldn't be able to do nothing with what he
He
got to
got to
tell
say,
me
yeah.
business wise right now.
Hmm.
Because for one, even with Jay Z being a billionaire, he's never done what I'm doing.
Hmm.
He's never done internet marketing.
Right.
Robert Smith, billionaire. He's never done internet marketing.
Right.
He's never grown an audience online. He's never touched the people. When I say touch the people, I don't mean like, yeah, you
Yeah,
go and you
I know what you're
donate
saying.
some stuff
Yeah.
or charities over here give some money to this organization or get hired to speak somewhere. I'm saying like going online and touching the people and affecting masses of people.
Hmm.
He's never done that. He's never built the online company.
Hmm.
So it's like a lot of the things that other people that look like us that have achieved certain heights. Yeah, it's great, but the information that they have is not accessible because they don't talk. You can't find them nowhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can listen to a Robert Smith interview, you can listen to a Jay-Z interview and some songs and stuff, but it's nothing that I can just directly purchase to tell me how to do something.
Hmm.
It's nothing that I can directly tap into to teach me how to get to the next level. Pick up on little gems here and there and then piece it together, but it's not like here's the blueprint, follow this and do it. We're like first level. I'm not even gonna use people myself, but there's just other people out there. We're like first level people that other people can see people that look like them to where they can really get some game that they can instantly implement in things
Hmm.
that they're doing right now. All the other examples of these people, they don't look like us. So what they say something that we don't like, we just supposed to continue to stay behind because we don't got the knowledge they do.
Right.
If I'm not at this position, nowhere near it. But say if I was able to scale my business to a $10 million level, a
Hmm.
$15 million, a 8 figure level, I would have to go to somebody like a Grant Cardone to learn how to scale that past 8 figures in the online space
Hmm.
or with digital products. It wouldn't be nobody else that looks like me that I could go to for that.
Oh, now, old buddy. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what's his name? He spoke at a Neo's conference. Don't he do?
Law,
Yeah, don't he do 9 figures?
it's one person. And I don't know Law like that. Shout out to Law. I know he follows me. I follow him, but I don't know if he offers those type of services.
Mm,
You up that big, you don't have to do that.
right.
You keep making the money that you making.
Hmm.
That's why all them entrepreneurs that Grant partnered with for that challenge, they're looking for somebody to get the information from because they don't have anybody else to go to.
Right.
They gotta go outside of their culture to find the information. All them black entrepreneurs that Grant recently partnered up with, they all doing 10 plus million, 15 million, 20 million, 30 million.
Hmm.
What person can they go to that looks like them to get information
Man, that's
about getting to the next level? There's not one. They can't go to Hope.
man.
They can't go to Michael Jordan, Oprah, LeBron, Tiger,
Yeah, Yeezy.
and Kanye. It's all entertainers.
Yeah,
And then the people that aren't entertainers, they're not accessible like that.
right.
Robert Smith,
And they're
Don
not doing that.
Peoples. And they're not doing that. They could not tell you
Right.
anything because they've never done it.
Hmm.
Don Peoples has never ran an ad for a lead generation ad in his life. He can't help you.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Robert Smith has never ran an ad to generate a lead.
Never set up a webinar.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, they can go to different places to learn about different things, but the things that they're working on scaling,
Right.
it's nobody else, it's nobody that looks like us to go to for that.
Hmm.
So what I didn't like is I saw certain people that have recently partnered with them, people online, were attacking them for partnering with somebody. Like they know what he was going to say in
Right.
some interview with one of with Trump's daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
How they supposed to know that? They're looking to expand their reach, expand their awareness, give Grant some tapping into their audience. They're hoping on the flip side of that they can tap into some of his audience.
Yeah. Value
That's why they did
exchange.
it.
Hmm.
That's why they did it. And then they're also working on building a relationship with somebody that's doing it because they don't have anybody else to do it.
Hmm.
I was on Instagram Live, somebody said Myron Golden. I was like, y'all wouldn't know who Myron Golden was if it wasn't for those black people that partnered up with Grant. That's the only reason any of us know who he is.
Hmm.
None of us knew Myron Golden existed until they went and started working with him. They introduced all of us to him. That man been on YouTube since 2007.
Hmm.
Nobody knew who he was until 2021 when they started going over there with him.
Hmm.
I'm sure other people were aware, but us, ain't nobody know who Myron Golden is. So even though they've learned a lot from Myron, I'm pretty sure if I was to ask him or if he was being honest, he would take a lot of his recent success the past 2 years and attribute it to them.
Hmm.
Nobody knew none of us knew who he was till you started to see these black entrepreneurs having $100,000 days, $1 million days, and then they say he's the guy that
Showed them. Yeah.
on some real, since I'm talking real right now. Nobody would have known who he was if it wasn't for Neo.
Mm. And why
Neo
Neo and not
Neo
Shan?
started it.
Oh, Shan's got it from Neo.
Shans wouldn't have known who he was if
Wasn't
Neo
Neo?
didn't tell him.
Yeah.
The podcast, he hop on Shan's podcast, then that does it. But the root of that, how does that relationship
Right.
even form?
Neo. Yeah.
Yo, bro, I just joined this mastermind. Cost this much. He teaching this. Oh, word? Yeah, you should get into it. He gets into it. I'm learning all this stuff. Would you do my podcast? He understands the value of it. He sees that. Yeah, cool. Boom. YouTube goes on.
Hmm.
YouTube goes crazy ever since. That's because started to see these black entrepreneurs, that people that have a certain status and trust amongst a demographic of the culture. They're like, who's this dude?
Hmm.
Once you get the introduction, you hear it, a lot of people like it. You tapped in. But even him, that's not somebody that you can go to for the level of information that they are now at. They gotta go look for somebody else because he ain't even did it.
Right.
What Myron teaches is not what what they're doing too. He teaches sales. He teaches how to make more offers. He teaches speaking from the stage and his higher ticketed
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
But things that they're working on, levels that they're wanting to take it to, they got to go to somebody else after they got it from him.
Yeah.
Because it's like who do you go to? The only people to go to in that space is a Grant Cardone, is a Tony Robbins,
Mhm.
is a Dean Graziosi, is uh like it's no black people.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell us like, yo, just because we don't like the messenger, don't act like you can't pick up the message because we do that often. I'm not even talking about people that don't look like us. We'll do that just with anybody, anything.
Mhm.
You don't like your cousin. So, but did they say something that that was actually right, but you refuse to listen to it because you despise this person because of
Yeah.
what they did to you in 2013? You still ain't. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learn a lot from people I don't trust
Just hu
quite frequently.
just hurting yourself when you're doing that.
And so I'm saying it's like we gotta know that we gotta be able to take in the nourishment and dispose the waste. I
Mm.
heard him 500 say something that I was like I like that. I might start using that. He's like, we gotta be able to eat the meat and throw away the bones.
Mm. Hmm.
But y'all just don't be surprised when old white people from middle of nowhere in the South happen to say some questionable stuff about black people. Hey yo, most people they have a six-figure goal, but they're thinking too small. They're only thinking of 100 bands. You're thinking too small. We need to be thinking big. Six figures goes up to 900K, and I was able to do that in my business with just one digital product. But it's not about how much bread came in. It's about how much that I lost out on because of information that I did not have. And I do not want the same thing to happen to you along your entrepreneurial journey. So I'm hosting a completely free masterclass this upcoming Thursday, teaching how you can take your already existing skills and information that you already have, your own intellectual property, your IP, create digital products and digital assets with them. Not only that, but I'm giving you the entire framework, strategies, and system. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money so you don't have to go through the same pitfalls that I had to go through along the way. So go ahead, click the link and register for the masterclass, and I will see you this upcoming Thursday. But outside of that, y'all, I will say this. You don't agree with what Grant Cardone says about certain stuff? Cool. I don't agree with majority of stuff that Grant Cardone says. The stuff that I do tap into, it's valuable information to learn.
Mhm.
And while you are learning information from this individual or any individuals, also look what is it that they're actually selling you, and be able to differentiate if the message that they're telling is something that you can use for you, or if this message that they're telling is part of them marketing the thing that they want to sell to you because it's better for them
Mm. Got
than actually you.
Yeah, gotta be able to sift through that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta be able to, like I said, be able to just pick up what's for you and throw away everything else. Don't listen to the whole mess. So, like I said, I listen to Grant solely about marketing and sales. That's the info I tap into for. Other people, they think Grant's a real estate guy. So they go for all the real estate advice. Not saying he doesn't give good real estate advice. That's not why I listen to him.
Right.
But if he's this real estate advice that he's giving, this is just the example I'm saying, be able to pick up what's for you and what's not for you. If you got a goal of home ownership, no matter what anybody says out here about if it's a good investment or not, that's what you want to do. You don't need to be listening to Grant Cardone about real estate.
Right.
He gonna tell you not to go buy a house for you and your family. Even though I don't think that a single family house is the best investment, but still, I would never tell, regardless, I would never tell a black person not to go and own some property.
Mhm.
Grant will. What is his vehicle that he's building? Cardone Capital. Basically, uh, it's not a hedge fund, but basically a fund for real estate investments. So he tells you not to buy real estate, invest with me so I can go buy the real estate for you
Mhm.
and give you a return. So look at what people are doing instead of what they're saying. So Grant don't buy a house. Grant goes buy property. What are the properties that he buys? Multifamily. So maybe you can say, okay, I can't go buy uh because Grant says out at the gate, if it's not at least 257,000 units, you shouldn't even look at it. Maybe you can't go get the 257,000 unit, but you may be able to go get the duplex
Mhm.
or the quad, the fourplex,
Mhm.
or whatever it is, or even if you get the single family, whatever it is. I'm just saying, like, just think just different messaging is this for me? Why is he saying this behind it? Because he's pulling everybody's money, including our communities, for Cardone Capital. For y'all that don't know, there are people within our community that have these real estate funds that you can invest your money into to get a way higher return than the bank. One of
Mhm.
my homies, friends, mentors, Chris Senegal. The difference is Chris isn't just as known as Grant Cardone. Chris been doing this.
Mhm.
And Chris got the receipts too. It ain't no, I ain't gonna name drop nobody, but it ain't no shady stuff happening like
Mm.
you
Yeah.
people may have heard from other funds and stuff like that. Regardless if it's true or not, Chris got the receipts. He's buying back the block. He's not gentrifying the blocks that he's buying either, because certain properties that he's buying, he's not even having to displace people
Mhm.
to still make it profitable. He's ahead of the time on he's ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Certain things that he's buying at the time, people be like, "Oh man, this dude don't know what he's talking about." Then next thing you know, it's up $10 million in
Mhm.
equity,
Or development, yeah.
like that, before the development even starts. It's one property he just acquired, or something that they acquired not too long ago. I don't know the numbers on it, but it's already up like 6, 7 million in equity since they bought it, and it ain't even the ground ain't even broken on it yet.
Mm.
So we got people in our community.
Mhm.
It's just Chris, as far as he doesn't market like that, and he's not as polarizing as Grant.
Mhm.
So the polarizing figures, we hear everything that they say, because they don't care if you like them or you love them or you hate them or you despise them. They just care that they know you.
Right. You talking
Versus you
about
got
it.
somebody, yeah, just like Kanye. Kanye don't care. He just wants people to know. Trump don't care. He just wants people to know. Grant Cardone don't care. He just wants people to know. A lot of them celebrities, they sit there and they do some outlandish stuff or dress a certain way on a red carpet or something. They don't care if you like or hate what they wore. Like it or love it. Rock it or throw it away.
Right, right.
Cop or drop. They just want you to talk about them.
Mhm. Because they got you voting, you talking about it, that's a win.
Yeah, Chris could care less if you talking about them. So a lot of us don't know.
Mhm.
But I'm telling y'all, Chris Senegal, look him up on social media. His handle is his name, and it's spelled like it sounds. But y'all, and the last message, I'm gonna wrap this up. Just regardless, take the Grant Cardone stuff out of it. Anytime that you are communicating with your target demographic through marketing, through sales, through any type of branding, dumb it down. Everybody does it.
Mhm.
Don't talk about all the bells and whistles with your product or services, all the techno babble with whatever the product or the service is.
Mhm.
Explain it in layman's terms. You will be way more successful. You will have higher conversion rates. You will make more money. Jay-Z said it. Jay-Z said,
Dumb down my music.
he said, if skill he said, I dumbed down for my audience and doubled my dollars. They criticized me for it, yet they all yell holler. If
Mhm.
skill sold, truth be told, I'd probably be lyrically Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like common sense.
Yeah, that's hard.
Ho's basically saying he got all the techno stuff he can do, all the sped up word plays, all that stuff, but it didn't hit for him till he dumbed it down.
Mhm.
I dumbed down for my audience and doubled my dollars. They criticize me for it. Like
Mhm.
them ones they gonna criticize you. But they all yell holler. So
Yeah, he got the blueprint right there.
what do you want to do? Do you want to sound do you want to be the one that sounds the smartest? Because when you sound the smartest, guess what? People can't understand you.
Mhm.
They're not going they and it's, you're going to intimidate people. They're not going to purchase a thing from you because they don't understand what it is.
Yep. It doesn't resonate. You don't have a connection. All the things that matter.
Steve Jobs, when he made the iPod, he didn't sit there and talk about all the techno babble and the hardware of this is not a regular MP3 because the hardware has this and this many gigabytes and this is the software and this and that. What? No, he just said it's 100 songs in your pocket.
Mhm.
People understood it. Then when the iPhone came out, take those 1,000 songs, multiply it by 10, and it's your phone with no buttons. What? No buttons? Because at the time, every phone had
Every
buttons.
phone had buttons,
If you had a screen, it was a screen with a bunch of buttons up under it.
and the
He
screen
didn't
was
go into
green.
all the he didn't go to all the specs and all the techno babble. People would not have been able to understand it.
Tuned out.
Did the same with the Macs and stuff. People didn't know that all the computer nerds knew and probably still know to this day Apple products aren't the best tech. Steve knew that consumers don't care. They don't need to understand that it's not the best.
Mhm.
Just explain to them that it's the coolest.
Yep, and it's functionality, and you'll win.
And even got to explain its functionality. I don't know what none of my Apple stuff does.
Yeah, you do.
Mm. I know it turns on.
No functionality, like from a practic. That's the word. Actually, like from a practicality standpoint,
You talking fun. I don't know what you're talking about. Functionality from a practicality
bro.
standpoint.
You know that you got iMessage. You got FaceTime. Like you know it in the simple term. You know what you can
But
accomplish.
you're not saying it's simple. The simple term would be you can message who you want to message and you can talk to people and see them.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm just saying, see, you got to dumb it down. But it's practicality and functionalities in the practical sense. What?
Uh,
So y'all dumb it down, explain things in layman's terms. If you can't explain it to where it's a kid can understand it, and I don't like when people say like these certain young ages. No, not if a second or third grader can understand. I'll say if a slightly intelligent middle schooler can understand it, you know your product.